Lunchroom on RCI, Monday to Friday, 12:45 to 2 p.m. The Lunchroom. Informative, enlightening, provocative, engaging. The Lunchroom on RCI. Food for thought. The station that gives you, more lunch.
And welcome to the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. It is Thursday, January the 25th, 2024, and this is program number 1128 of the Lunchroom. I'm your host, Calix George Jr. Now, in addition to radio, and that's on 101.1 FM, you can also get us at our website. It is rcistlucia.com. We are also streaming live via our Facebook Live feed. Just search for the official page of Radio Caribbean International and be sure to like and share that link as well with your friends and family. Now, of course, if you want to call in to tell us what's on your plate today, that number to do so, our direct line is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046, as well as our WhatsApp number. It is 724-0008. Again, 724-0008. Now, some birthday greetings for today going out to Mrs. Moran Winter DeVoe. Happy birthday to you, Moran. I'm wishing you an absolutely wonderful birthday celebration. Hope it's a grand one. Also sending birthday greetings to Mr. Ananias Vernay. Happy birthday to you, sir. Wishing you the very, very best of birthdays. Do enjoy your very blessed day. And also to a classmate of mine, happy birthday to Mr. Roderick Merrill. Happy birthday, sir. And we do hope that it is a grand indeed event for you and a celebration of your life. We know that you can do that very well. So happy birthday to Mr. Roderick Merrill. And some individuals celebrating their birthdays today around the world include Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. He turns 46 today, as well as the singer Alicia Keys, who's 43. Also allow me to send out condolences to the family of the late Mr. Thomas R. Walcott, civil structural engineer and also emeritus chairman of the St. Lucia Labour Party. So condolences to him, to his family, his family, relatives, his children, his brothers and sisters, the entire Walcott family, and extended family and friends to them on his passing. Now, a bit of history for today. In the year 1554, the city of Sao Paulo in Brazil was founded. It's actually from the Catholic liturgical setting. This day is the conversion of St. Paul, the feast of the conversion of St. Paul. So it makes sense that it was founded on this day, Sao Paulo, St. Paul in Portuguese. In the year 1840, an American naval expedition under Charles Wilkes is first to identify Antarctica as a new continent. 1924 on this day saw the first Winter Olympic Games occurring in Chamonix in France. 1949 saw the first Israeli election being won by David Ben-Gurion's Mapai party. 1971 on this day, January the 25th, saw a military coup in Uganda under Major General Idi Amin. 2011 on this day saw Egyptian revolution of that year beginning with a series of street demonstrations and rallies and other acts of civil disobedience and labor strikes, and that started off in Cairo, spread of course as well to other major cities like Alexandria in Egypt. Now today we're going to be discussing for our dish of the day an upcoming event as part of the Nobel Laureate Festival calendar, and that is the St. Mary's College Literary Night, and we're going to be discussing that. It's coming up this Friday, and so pleased to have somebody in studio from St. Mary's College to tell us all about that. That's going to be our dish of the day. The Daily Dish is brought to you the kind compliments of our good friends at Tiles Plus.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bath Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A plus. Did all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got glassware and vanity. Books, doors, you'll see. Come down to my nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Lance Road in Castries, Bossage Grosile, and Flax Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939. Tiles Plus.
Serving now, the Daily Dish. This has been...
And welcome back to the Lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. Now, as we mentioned, of course, it is the Nobel Laureate Festival on happening in St. Lucia in memory and honor of St. Lucia's two Nobel Prize winners, William Arthur Lewis, Nobel Prize winner for economic sciences back in 1979, and Sir Derek Alton Walcott, who won the Prize for Literature in 1992. And they got many things in common, and one of them is that they in fact attended St. Mary's College, and of course that institution still remains to today. The St. Mary's College that they attended at the time was down in on Miku Street in the heart of the city. It's now moved on to a higher summit at VG, but certainly still impacting the lives of hundreds of students every single year, and they've been doing that since the year 1890. And it's a school of mixed pursuits, the sciences as well as the arts, and I think the arts are going to be on display in their finest form come this coming Friday, and it's happening at the St. Mary's College Auditorium. It's called the St. Mary's College Literary Night. And to discuss that with us, I'm so pleased to have Mrs. Valerie Regis. She is the Theatre Arts Lecturer at the St. Mary's College. Mrs. Regis, thank you so very much for joining us here at the Lunchroom. I know you have a very short time frame because you guys are doing all your checks right now, your sound tests and your sound checks to make this thing happen tomorrow evening. Yes. Thanks for joining us here at the Lunchroom.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, and I know you would not have shortchanged us because you're a Sumerian and a legacy one at that. So
well, that's all my business. I know lots of people want to be doing that these days, but it's okay.
We're talking about excellence. So excellence in all its forms, and that is what we're grooming at St. Mary's College.
Indeed. Now, Literary Night, how long has it been happening?
I am not even sure how long it's been happening, but I think it started from since after the second Nobel laureate came, which was Derek Walcott. So I think it's from since about then, but I'm not sure of the history.
Because I know when I was there, we didn't quite have a literary night. No, so it must have been a innovation that came.
Yes, afterwards.
I don't want to date myself too much, but
once
post-2000.
we started, because we didn't really start celebrating the Nobel laureates in full force after the Nobel laureates became Nobel laureates. It was a few years after, as a nation. So we came on board as part of that push to, recognize our own. The world is recognizing our own, but we're not doing much to recognize our own. So as such, St. Mary's College has been put in the throngs of that preparation and celebration, because both Nobel laureates were Sumerians.
And you guys have so much going on. I mean, you just put on Talfest just last term. That seemed to have been a resounding success from all indications.
Yes.
And of course, you've got sports going on. This is the season for that happening. Go Tapo. And as well, you're now putting on this event, Literary Night. So tell us about it. What should somebody expect coming into the college on Friday night?
Okay, so unlike Talfest was a show put on by the boys for their peers. So a lot of the work was done, like, workshopping with the boys and getting them to put forth mostly their own ideas. Last year's Literary Night was mostly like that because we had not had a Literary Night or Talfest in a long time. So last year's own was more of a Talfest Literary Night all in one. This year, Literary Night is taking on a little bit more of what it used to be, which is a little more cultured and subdued, but still we want to appeal to the majority of the population. So it is not it is still very vibrant because we have all genres of the arts being featured, including, we're not only featuring Sir Derek Walcott, but we're also featuring Sir Arthur Lewis as our economics teacher and our economics lecturer, and her Form 4 boys are putting on a dramatic piece to highlight the works of Sir Arthur Lewis, because it wasn't only Sir Derek who went to the school, so we have to highlight both of our laureates. And since Sir Derek was also a painter as well, we're also and a poet, so we're also highlighting poetry and we're also highlighting painting. Yeah. Now, we're not only doing the works of Derek, we're looking at how it's more of a showcase of how we groom our boys. This is the work of champions. It's how you groom champions.
That's a very interesting way of putting it.
So
very generous way of putting it, I'm sure.
Yes, I hope it was generous enough, because we have 3 dramatic pieces. One, as I said, was penned by the economics lecturer and done by the Form 4 economics boys. We have another piece written by a brilliant young writer, Miss Monique Ogis, who's the other theatre arts teacher.
Right.
So this one is being done by the Form 4 theatre arts students. And then we have the Form 5s doing their own dramatic piece, which was actually part of their SBA. That they created on their own because it was part of their SBA. So that's their playmaking SBA. So that was devised theatre, and so they created that on their own. And then we have dramatic poetry, we have dance, and again, our choreographers are Sumerians. They're no longer at the school as they're all boys.
Okay.
All boys. So our choreographers are all boys. And we have guest appearances by the Vidbute drumming group. We have a guest appearance. We have Fire Breathers. So it will be a show to remember. It's only $25, but you're getting a $250 worth show. So that's a great discount. And you know, when St. Mary's College put on something for the public, we go big or we go home. It's nothing that is short.
Well, I mean, I was blessed to actually attend last year's the return of Literary Night.
Excellent.
And it was really phenomenal, and how you brought it all together, so many different concepts.
Nice.
And I know you mentioned that issue of how do you bring in the visual arts into it as well, and that was really amazing how it was done. I don't want to give away too much, because I don't know if this is also going to be on display, but
similar, but
so
not
many
the
people
same.
are about the sip and paint events these days, and you brought it onto stage. So
that's right.
Really, really, really impactful indeed.
Yes.
So this is going to be on, as you said, on Friday.
On Friday, the 26th
from
at
what
7
time?
p.m.
7 p.m.
And it's only $25. You pay at the door.
Okay.
So when you pay at the door, we give you a wristband. So there are no tickets on sale, because that is an additional cost which we don't have, because we're working on a very, very tight budget. But we're trying our best to and it's at the auditorium, because our previous location, the cultural center, it's under renovation.
Right.
So we have had to do a lot of little things. We can't do anything big, but we've had to do a lot of little things to try and get the hall in a way that could do justice to the pieces that we want to portray. Right. Yeah. And one of the things, as you mentioned, last year's own, when people started talking about how good it was, I remember Miss Ogis and myself, we were a bit afraid, because we set the bar so high. One of the things that we were apprehensive about this year is, would we be able to meet that standard again?
Right.
So our biggest hope is for that, and it's all hands on deck at St. Mary's College. Even I'm the theatre arts teacher there, and so is Miss Ogis, but the teachers are so multi-talented. It's all hands on deck, and everybody is contributing towards the success of the show in one way or another. That is the only way it can happen. Now,
this is such a wonderful innovation, because I remember my time at St. Mary's College in Form 5. There was, I think, some event was being put on at the Cultural Center, all schools coming together to celebrate Derek Walcott. I can't remember exactly what it was called. But we had to put on a play, and we literally had, this was under the good auspices of Miss Gloria Severin. I think she's since retired from St. Mary's. But she, and within 2 days, we had to put on Malco Shaw, Six in the Rain. And it was really a wonderful, opportunity to be able to do so very quickly under such pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, we never had a theater arts teacher though, like you now, and so certainly there is some progress being made, but no doubt still some challenges as to get
because
boys
in
into
the
that
past we didn't have theater as a CXC subject, so we were doing the arts, just doing that because we are creative, we are a creative people, so we have to have a channel, some way to channel that kind of creative energy, and our boys are very creative and they have a lot of energy, so we have to find all sorts of means and ways to get them engaged. And as you said, there's always a lot going on at SMC at any given time, multiple things happening at once. You walk into the school gate and it's like the school is breathing. It has a life of its own. And I tell people sometimes, as soon as I walk into the gate at SMC, I'm tired because the energy is so much, and it's because we want the boys to have a place. There's a place for everyone. Every boy can find their place at SMC, no matter what your talent is. Every boy can find their place. And so Literary Night is just one of such avenues that we provide our boys with. And we're hoping that the public can see how much we're giving back to our communities with our boys, because our boys are from the length and breadth of St. Lucia, from all different backgrounds, all different kinds of socioeconomic statuses, and we do our best to ensure that we leave nobody out.
Tell us a little bit about the behind the scenes, the stage management.
Oh,
is that also going to be done by the boys as well?
No, with Literary Nights, and even with Talfest, the teachers try and take care of that for the boys, because it's a little more technical and we have to hire persons from outside. We have St. Mary's College have been blessed to have really good friends. So either they don't charge us or they charge us minimum fees for doing things that they would charge a lot of money for. So when these people charge you all, please pay them so that they can give back to us.
That's a nice appeal. Again.
Yes, so that they can give back to us. Because if they don't charge you, they cannot give us the little freeness. And you understand? So we have persons doing lights for us, outside sourcing of lights. Right. In the person of Webster. I don't want to start mentioning names and I forget though. And I just left Dwayne doing sound.
This is Webster Joseph you're talking about?
Yes. And we have Dwayne doing sound for us. So he's there with his team and checking and making sure that everything is on point. And not because they're charging us less, it means that they're giving us less professionalism.
So the actual production of the show is very high level professional.
Very high level professional. Once we're putting something on for the public, we always try to put our best foot forward. We have our St. Mary's College visual arts students. They're the ones creating the set design.
Wow.
For the piece. So the teachers give them the vision and they're putting it together. So along with Mr. Rosen Daniel. He is the visual arts teacher there. An excellent artist, Rosen Daniel. So he's the art teacher there right now, and so he's assisting the boys in bringing that concept to life, so that when you enter into our space, you really feel the theme like you did last year. So this year, our theme is blazing the trail towards excellence. Yeah, so everything that is St. Mary's College, you will see now,
of course, everybody is invited to this. This is not just about alumni. It's not just parents and
all.
I know St. George's Convent is celebrating their 170th, so they can come and celebrate as well.
Yes, that's our sister. I mean, most of the ladies who teach there are actually alum of St. Joseph's Convent, so including myself. Right. So both the theatre arts teachers are products of St. Joseph's Convent. So you find that they're our sister school. I always tell people, I identify, my pronouns are she and her and SJC. But I identify as a Sumerian because Sumerians are all in my family. So you find that there's a high level of dedication by all of the teachers, because almost every teacher, even those who, male or female, who do not have, who were not members of St. Mary's College like Sumerians, they have Sumerian ties. So it is open to everybody. If there's a tree that can walk, the trees can come in.
Well, I did see a reference to one of those plays. Very interesting mention that they're going to be putting on a special play tomorrow.
Yes, well, it's not
with the walking tree.
No, that's what. Okay, so we wanted to put on a full-on play for literary night this year. We wanted to go the other direction. So
okay.
Miss Monique Ogis, again, very brilliant writer, wrote this play and we started rehearsing since in August. But because of the physical constraints of our hall, it is not, we would not be able to put it on. So we had to switch gears. But we still want to put on the play. We still
So there's something more to look on for sometime during this year?
Yes, we are back.
Okay.
COVID will have to figure itself out because nothing holding us back.
Wonderful. So we've been discussing the St. Mary's College Literary Night. It's happening tomorrow from 7 o'clock at the St. Mary's College Auditorium. Very small donation of $25.
Very.
Far, or I should put it not necessarily small, but far worth it because you're getting, you're paying 1/10 of the real cost.
That's right.
Of the
and
production.
if you don't have your own transportation, the Leclerc buses commute to St. Mary's College, and the fact that they know we have a show there, they will be commuting there. So you just go on the Leclerc bus stand, and you make your way up to the St. Mary's College.
Wonderful. So it's happening, and it is a wonderful collaboration putting on this production as part of the Nobel Laureate Festival for this year, 2024. And, it's definitely something to take in. I'm going to try to make it there, of course. I know there's a lot to take in this week. Tonight, I know there's, for instance, the Nobel Laureate Lecture for Economics is on. By Dr. James Fletcher. So we do hope that if you're out there, you at least try to get to at least one event for the Nobel Laureate Festival. And of course, St. Mary's College Literary Night is definitely one of those.
Definitely. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. As the old cliche goes, miss it and blame yourself.
Indeed. And we've been speaking with Mrs. Regis. She is the theatre arts teacher, Valerie Regis, the theatre arts teacher at St. Mary's College. And we're so very thankful for all that you're doing, Mrs. Regis, and of course all those others who are working to impart this beginning of seeing where the next Nobel Prize winner for literature is going to be coming from. From St. Lucia. So definitely thank you very, very much for this.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Indeed. Now, that's our dish of the day. And when we come back, we're going to be heading straight into our weather news.
Daily Dish.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+. With all kind of tiles, come down to Tiles Plus. We also glad gasway and vanity. Box, doors, you'll see. Come down, don't mind nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Lance Road in Castries, Bosses Jugosile, and Slack Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939. Tiles Plus.
Island style, yeah. We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, yeah. We'll have to make the right choice. Island style, whoa. We got the time that will make you happy. Island style, oh yeah. We make your dream come alive in Island style.
We have tiles and thin sets, pieces and ground. Everything you need is on the house out. For the best price and the latest style, take a little drive down to Island Style Car.
We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, quality, price, service, choice. It's all an Island Style.
Visit us at our showrooms in Bellarosa, Rodney Bay, on the John Compton Highway, Castries, and behind Ruby's Gas Station on the Library Viewport Highway. Or call us on 450-452 or 453-TILE. Island Style Tile and Bath. When you think tile, think Island Style.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
And that's all, of course, on 1.1. It's now time for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Tile and Bath. The forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. The winds will be blowing from between the east, northeast, and east near 25 miles per hour or 41 kilometers per hour with occasional gusts. The weather partly cloudy and windy, becoming cloudy at times with scattered light to moderate showers. Cool temperatures are expected during the night. And there is an advisory in here which reads small craft operators and sea beavers are advised to exercise extreme caution due to brisk winds and rough seas. The forecast for the Lesser Antilles, partly cloudy to cloudy and windy with scattered light to moderate showers over the southern Leeward and northern Windward Islands. Elsewhere, fair and windy, becoming cloudy at times with widely scattered showers. We now move over to the weather summary. The Atlantic high pressure system will continue to generate moderate to brisk easterly winds and rough seas across the Lesser Antilles during the next few days. A shell line will cause cloudiness and showers mainly over the central portion of the Lesser Antilles during the next 24 hours. Shallow patches of low-level clouds drifting along the wind flow will cause some cloudy intervals with widely scattered showers over the remainder of the region during the forecast period. And this was your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Tile and Bath.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Island style, yeah. We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, yeah. We'll have to make the right choice. Island style. Whoa. We got the time that will make you happy. Island style. Oh yeah. We make your dream come alive in Island style.
We have tiles and thin sets, pieces and ground. Everything you need is on the outside. For the best price and the latest style, take a little drive down to Island Style Car.
We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, quality price, service choice. It's all an Island style.
Visit us at our showrooms in Belarus, Rodney Bay, on the John Crompton Highway, Cass Street, and behind Ruby's Gas Station on the Library Viewfort Highway. Or call us on 450-452 or 453-TILE. Island Style Tile and Bath. When you think tile, think Island Style.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. Of course, we've just been discussing St. Mary's College Literary Night. That's one of the upcoming events for Nobel Laureate Week. And Nobel Laureate Festival. It's no longer just a week, and rightfully so. And of course, also happening very soon will be a number of events within the umbrella of Independence 45. Duva Assam, and of course one of them is the Bator Relay. Now, we were supposed to have had some guests coming in to discuss that. They seem to be under a bit of pressure, still having planning meetings for this event, and I believe hopefully we may get one of them to call in to tell us about that upcoming event. So we'll be looking out for that call soon enough. But of course, if you would like to call in as well to tell us what's on your plate, the number to do so is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046 is that number, and you can also call in to our WhatsApp number. That is 724-0008. Now, just some condolences coming out to the family of the late Mr. Tom Walcott, and that coming from the St. Lucia Labour Party. In fact, a tribute being sent out by the current Prime Minister on his recent passing, which I'll just share at this time. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has paid tribute to former St. Lucia Labour Party chairman Tom Walcott, whom he described as a true and faithful soldier. Quote, Tom Walcott was my friend, advisor, critic, consoler, and epitomized labor. The news of his death this morning took me on a journey of fond memories, struggles, and victories, Pierre wrote Thursday on Facebook. From my entry into politics, the politics of St. Lucia, Tom's unwavering support and loyalty guided me along a path which led me to becoming the Prime Minister of this country, an achievement which I am grateful that he got to witness, he recalled. The Prime Minister said Walcott believed in service to his country and his party. According to Pierre, a philosophy of, quote, not what my party can do for me, but what I can do for my party, guided the former SLP chairman. That is how much he loved, lived, and breathed the Labour Party. To his family, friends, and the St. Lucia Labour Party, accept my sincerest condolences. We have lost a true and faithful soldier, Chairman Emeritus. Rest in peace, my comrade, Pierre said. And that some messages of condolence coming from the sitting Prime Minister, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, on the passing of the late Mr. Thomas R. Walcott, civil and structural engineer. He certainly made a physical mark on the country in terms of some of the projects that he worked on, including, for instance, the dualizing of the Castries-Grosley Highway. Some of these pedestrian bridges, for instance, I think those were designed by him, and many other structures all around St. Lucia. So certainly we want to remember him and his legacy. He was also an individual who was very fiercely competitive, and including with that of Mr. Rick Wayne. They were both very ardent believers in bodybuilding and lifting weights and exercising and working out and living very healthy lives. And so no doubt he'll be missed amongst so very many quarters around St. Lucia. And he had, of course, he comes from a very large family, and lots of relatives and friends certainly will be mourning him at this time. So again, of course, if you want to call in to tell us anything on your plate today, the number to do so is 452-3046. Again, it is 452-3046. Happening tonight, as I mentioned, it is the St. Lucia Nobel Laureate Festival. It's called, actually, tying myself up here a little bit. It is the Sir Arthur Lewis Memorial Lecture, and that is in fact happening this evening, and it is going to be delivered by Dr. James Fletcher, former Sustainable Development Minister here in St. Lucia, and it is under the theme Navigating the Future, applying the teachings of Sir William Arthur Lewis to St. Lucia's 21st century development challenges. Again, Navigating the Future, applying the teachings of Sir William Arthur Lewis to St. Lucia's 21st century development challenges. And that's happening at the Finance Administrative Center tonight at 7:30. And there will be a very interesting... there's also going to be a tribute to Sir Leighton Thomas, who also passed quite recently. And of course, Sir Leighton being former principal of Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, a gentleman who in fact has a building in his honor up at the college. The Division of Technical Education building is named in his honor. But in addition to that, of course, we know him as being the the musician who composed the score for the island's national anthem, Sons and Daughters of St. Lucia. So that's happening tonight. That's Sir Arthur Lewis Memorial Lecture being delivered by none other than one of St. Lucia's great intellectual minds, Dr. James Fletcher. I'm knighting him before his time already. That's going to happen tonight, and he's going to be addressing that. Of course, there are also going to be some remarks by Dr. Mary-Louise Felix, and she's a lecturer at the South Lewis Community College, also a biologist, a marine biologist, and the closing remarks are going to be offered by Dr. Marjorie Jameson Charles, the principal of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. So it certainly is going to be a very enriching and enlightening night, no doubt, as part of the Nobel Laureate Festival. Now, we do have a very interesting piece that I wanted to continue to share within the context of that conversation we started yesterday on the matter of our criminal justice system. And we're looking at some aspects there with respect to some of the changes that we have to be making, significant changes, which we have in fact been speaking about for quite some time. And you would recall, if you take yourself back to that era of the late 1990s, when we saw the introduction of a new Labour government after the May 23rd, 1997 general election. Just shortly after that, there was a fire which definitely impacted the operations of Her Majesty's prisons at Castries. And from what we were told, it seemed as if this fire was in fact caused by the inmates themselves, who were effectively taking very drastic action about the conditions within which they found themselves living in. And we would recall that the original prison, Her Majesty's prison, was built way back in the 1820s. And at the time when it was built, it was seen as a very progressive structure, a very modern structure for its time. Because as had been mentioned yesterday, the whole concept of prisons was not that well understood. It wasn't quite often, they didn't really structure them in that way. And unfortunately, we saw lots of other forms of punishment, including the death penalty. And so that structure that was built in the 1820s was modern then, but certainly was no longer fit for purpose in the current 21st century, moving into the 21st century, one should say. And so therefore, clearly something had to be done. And the decision was taken to construct a new facility, which is the Bordelais Correctional Facility. That eventually got completed, I think, and was commissioned in the year 2003. And there was a lot of criticism at the time put forward about this prison, it being too lavish and it being too modern. And well, not necessarily modern, but it was, people even described it as being a hotel by the sea because it actually had views of the ocean. And so, and of course, the emphasis being placed on corrections was put in there. So even the presence of special rooms for training and having facilities such as a courtroom being present within the facility, a number of different innovations were brought on when that prison was actually constructed, and of course an expansion of the operations there to accommodate more comfortably what was certainly a growing number of inmates. And we saw the number somewhere right now, I think it's well over 500 individuals. Unfortunately, we have seen, of course, it's 20 years now, plus 20 years since that facility has been operating. And of course, you've got wear and tear, you've got your own challenges of that. But then, in addition to that, the big question is with respect to the ability for that facility to, in fact, reform individuals and change individuals and give them an opportunity to come out back into society and the contributions that they are making. And there's no doubt about it. We've come a long way. We have made improvements. There's no doubt about that. And we're seeing a lot of efforts by various groups to introduce various programming within the prison system, within the correctional facility, inclusive of the opportunity to now, for many of these inmates to be able to get their CXCs, to be able to engage in lots of different activities, and chess is being brought into the prisons. So there are a lot of opportunities. The big question is, though, given what we're now seeing in terms of the trends, as to what is necessary to actually deal with rehabilitation, whether in fact we have gone far enough. And would like to actually share another piece, another interesting TED Talk on the matter of prisons. But unfortunately, I don't think we will have enough time, given that we are already 11 minutes towards the end of the program. So we'll probably have to save that for maybe tomorrow or sometime next week. But it actually is looking at a U.S. district attorney, an individual within the U.S. judicial system, actually visiting Germany and looking at the experiences of Germany now with respect to their system. And of course, it was done within the context of this U.S. district attorney, in fact, being a descendant of individuals who were in fact imprisoned at concentration camps in Germany during World War II. His parents, in fact, having spent time in a number of different concentration camps during the Nazi rule of Germany. And of course, the irony for him as well, that here his parents went to the United States, the land of hope and opportunity, and to escape what was, of course, a very, very horrible time, the Holocaust and all that Jews were going through, and not just Jews, but other individuals as well, being oppressed, but primarily Jews, and they ran away from that. They escaped that horror. But now he is actually coming back and returning to visit a prison in Germany, which is so far more modern than the system that exists right now in Germany. Is so far more advanced than what is seen to be the norm in the United States of America. And the context there was to look at some of the ideas. For instance, in Germany, there is an insistence that everybody has to have their own cell. Everybody has their own cell. So even the concept of people being put in isolation is actually something that is scorned upon. And the underpinnings of a lot of these changes in the German system has been because of that recognition that you cannot repeat that mistake of the past, which was this horrible period of Nazi rule. And the importance of coming out of that constitution was the respect of human dignity of all individuals, that all individuals' dignity has to be respected. And so within that context, the system that has come out of that certainly recognizes that it's not just about, it's not about punishment, it's about changing the individual. That has to be the greater ascending hope of in fact incarcerating somebody, bringing them into that sort of setting. Yes, they are, of course, being taken out of society, but they're being taken out of society not with that expectation that they're going to remain there forever, but in fact that they are going to get the kind of help that they require to be able to become a better individual, so that they can in fact reintegrate into society. So that, of course, as I mentioned, is going to be something that we can try to take in sometime in the coming week as we look towards doing just that. Now, of course, as I mentioned, if you'd like to call in within the few minutes that we have left, you can do just that. The number to do so is 452-3046, 452-3046. Just want to also mention, of course, the ongoing situation in the Middle East. That has, of course, been a very sad state of affairs with respect to the actions by the Israeli state and what is going on in Gaza. Of course, it's been now 4 months since we've been seeing this unraveling of this current situation. And October the 6th, in fact, was the date of that initial attack by Hamas insurgents. And now we're seeing, of course, what has been termed the tsunami, really, of action by the Israeli Defense Forces in Gaza right now. And unfortunately, the extensive loss of life there. There have been many, many appeals being made from around the world, from very many sources who, in some instances, of course, the actions by South Africa going to the International Criminal Court of Justice, in The Hague. Many other actions, of course. And sometimes some of these calls, you have to wonder, though, are they going enough? Because the other big reality of it, is that the major supplier, supporter of the Israeli Defense Forces is the United States of America. And very consistently, they have been providing aid, military aid, to Israel, the state of Israel. In fact, and it has been shown, and even from the U.S. foreign assistance websites, if you look at the aid that is provided for the state of Israel over the decades, it is in fact the largest beneficiary to of United States aid than any other country. And this is by a more than a mile. It is 316 billion US dollars provided to the United States of America to Israel. Predominantly, this is for military use. Yes, there has also been aid for developmental purposes over the years, but right now, the vast majority of that aid is going towards military use. And of course, in many instances, it's actually also to simply buy U.S. military products. So that, of course, has benefited certain elements within the United States in the defense sector. They, of course, have benefited greatly with respect to that. But it is still aid nonetheless. And it seems to be without question. It seems to be without question at all. And you'd recall, for instance, we have gone through situations here in St. Lucia with respect to the imposition of the Leahy Law. We saw the issue of Operation Restore Confidence and the actions that were taken during the Stevenson King administration around 2010, 2011. And that was called into question by the United States of America, and of course has been the subject of continued efforts by the Director of Public Prosecutions here in St. Lucia to resolve this matter. But the imposition of the Leahy Law was seen, and the support that was received by St. Lucia for this Royal St. Lucia Police Force, of course, came to a close, came to an end. Some of it has been reinstated, and in fact, there was a time, and looking at the figures of foreign assistance to the United States of America, there was a time when I think we were if there were 34 countries within the region of Latin America and the Caribbean. We were in fact number 34 in terms of being beneficiaries of U.S. aid. We were the last in terms of getting U.S. aid overall. And that gives you a sense of how far we are in terms of the support of aid. Now, it has improved somewhat. I think last year, for instance, was about 4.5 million U.S. dollars worth of aid provided by the United States of America. But if you look at what the United States gives to Israel on a per capita basis, assuming that there are about 10 million people in Israel, so we're going up to a higher number. I think there are about 9.3 million people in Israel. If we take that number and we look at how much is given for every Israeli on a per capita basis, and we say, well, okay, for the 180,000 St. Lucians, 185,000 St. Lucians, what would we have to get in terms of the equivalent amount of aid from the United States if we were getting the amount of aid that the state of Israel is getting? Well, that would mean that we would be getting somewhere in the region of $66 million US worth of aid every year from the United States of America. That's about 178 million EC dollars. So that is the equivalent share if, in fact, we were getting just at the same rate that the state of Israel it was actually getting. All right, 66 million US dollars. Of course, we're nowhere near that. We're not even in most years. I would say we're not even a 20th of that, and so it or 5%. It's a very, very, very small figure in comparison. And of course, we see such disparate situations, of course, because Israel has in fact become and is certainly a developed country. It is highly advanced. It has done very, very well for itself. Of course, and remember, this is just direct aid. Israel is, of course, also beneficial to a lot of other support, non-state support from its diaspora. But we're just speaking about state to state here, and certainly it has gotten to a point where it is very, very successful, developed country, but it's still in fact the largest beneficiary of aid to from the United States of America. And I think the next country on the list might be Egypt, and part of that I think is also towards ensuring that it remains a friendly state to Israel. So you could see the relationships there as well in terms of U.S. foreign policy in that regard. Now, we're actually due to end the program, but we'll try to squeeze in just one call very, very quickly to take that one in. Good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchroom. What's on your plate today?
Good afternoon, Mr. George. This is Mr. Saltibus and
Kalila Abubakar, Communications Officer, Department of Housing and Local Government.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks for joining us. Yes, you're going to be telling us about the upcoming launch of Independence 45's Battle Relay, I believe.
Yes, indeed. So the Department of Housing and Local Government is going into its third year of hosting the National Independence Battle Relay. Due to the heavy demand garnered for the event over the last 2 years, the Cabinet of Ministers has deemed the Battle Relay a staple on St. Lucia's calendar for national independence celebrations, and therefore will be held annually henceforth. What we've seen over the years is it's really a time where constituents island-wide, they really set aside the political posturing. That tends to really paralyze us as a people. It's a time where we all put aside every element of divisiveness for our sweet Helen of the West. It's really something, if anyone has viewed it, it's just blissful, epitome of true nationalism, and this is the Independence Battle Relay.
Wonderful.
So
Now,
what can St.
when is it?
Lucians
When are you guys
expect?
launching it? Oh, sorry. Go right ahead.
Okay, what St. Lucians can expect from Department of Housing and Local Government this year is under the stewardship of our Minister of Housing and Local Government, the Honorable Richard Frederick. We are ensuring that this is an even bigger and better national independence battle relay. Our department have been rolling out a lot of major projects, and there are more major projects to come in 2024. The last we would have seen would be the January 19th Miku Cemetery expansion project, the sod turning ceremony for that, which is really a first for St. Lucia when it comes to having a modern cemetery and a modern burial ground. In terms of big things happening, as I said, the department's National Independence Battle Relay would have plenty surprises. We're going on a grand scale this year, starting off with the launch at Forestier, Castries South East. We've bestowed that community with the huge honor, and we do have a schedule from henceforth from Castries South East. The battle will be handed over to Dennery North, Dennery South, and journey through St. Lucia in a clockwise direction. Speaking to big things, we can expect the flag raising ceremony and the National Independence Fireworks display to be held in 4 locations island-wide simultaneously on the evening of February 21st, 2024, and that would be Vieux Fort, Soufrière, Castries, and Grosley. They'll all be raising the flags. They'll all have their display of fireworks. They'll all have their events simultaneously in recognition of St. Lucia's 45th anniversary of independence.
Wonderful. Now, what day are you kicking off this event? When does it start in Forestier?
The start date is this Sunday, January 28th, at Forestier, at the Forestier playing field across from Stannis.
So it's starting off at
8:30
Forest
a.m.
at 8:30 in the morning, and then it's going to head down, go along
To
the
Dennery
ridge,
North.
and then down into Dennery North, and then of course, I suppose almost every day you're going to be seeing another.
Yes, every day. Now, this year, as I said, doing things in a big way this year, we've decided to give each of the 18 constituencies their own day. We have 18 because we've actually separated ancillary and canneries. We want to give each of them their own slot to showcase their cultural identity and their splendor. So we have each constituency on a day. So they're literally being given that time to really put out and share their, creativity, their cultural display. They have an entire day allocated for that.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So it's culminating as always on the eve of election of the Independence.
It's
45.
culminating on February 18th in
February
Castries
18th
Central,
Castries. Okay.
because we're giving ourselves 2 days to prepare for the National Independence flag raising ceremony and fireworks display in the 4 locations island-wide.
Okay. So it's not culminating with the fireworks display this year.
No,
It's
the
actually
fireworks
gonna be-
display, we've given it its own date to really, really bring across the true essence that is independence.
Now, I understand as well there's going to be an innovation in that we're going to be seeing some of the diaspora getting involved in
Oh, yes.
the relay
And
as
this
well.
is why the early start of this year's Independence Battle Relay was strategic to allow our overseas missions participation in this event. They've asked, they've begged, they've reached out to us, and they've said they really want to be a part of this National Independence Battle Relay. So therefore, the start date, as I said, is strategic in allowing them a place on that schedule for the National Independence Battle Relay.
Wonderful. In terms of coverage, how can people follow this?
Okay, in terms of coverage, it will be aired on the station's national television network. It will also be streamed on social media, on the Department of Housing and Local Government Facebook page, on the Can I Help You Facebook page, on WeTV, and whatever media partners that choose to come on board to share in this auspicious moment.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so this is going to be happening from this coming Sunday morning, 8:30.
January 28th. 8:30, we're launching the National Independence Battle Relay up at Forest.
And I know lots of people will be looking to. So I'm assuming that people can actually come to this event, the launch as well. It doesn't have to be people from
the general public. It's open
alone.
to community groups. It's open to students, schools, councils. As I made mention of the councils, I would really like to speak to the work of our constituency councils, and the constituency councils are really symbolic when it comes to the success we've had over the years of the National Independence Battle Relay. You know, if I could speak to shortly, if it wasn't for their hard work, their dedication and collaboration, this is what really enhanced the event and made it possible, made it come to fruition, you know, in the sense that it is now being recognized as a staple on St. Lucia's calendar of activities.
Wonderful. And just very briefly, who designed the battle this year?
The battle was designed by our... We're
not going there yet, Mr. George. We're not going there.
You don't want to give us that information?
You know, we do protect all those things. And on Sunday, what we want to do is you make yourself available, and also on the 21st, where we're going to actually reveal and give the description and everything. What was important though, Calix, is for people to come out. We want business places to raise their flags. Give your staff the time off to come out on the streets when the baton is being paraded in your community. We want schools, the principals, to actually allow the children to come and wave their flags, you know. Just be joyous and take part in this big occasion. It is the biggest thing happening for independence, and it's been happening for the last 3 years, and we're going to get, you know, bigger and bigger. Last 2 years, rather. This year is going to be the third.
Right.
And we can't wait for the 50th anniversary, Calix. This thing is going to be big, you know. So yeah.
And I noticed you mentioned definitely getting people involved. Is there going to be a special effort to actually try to visit some of these institutions? And I'm thinking maybe seniors' homes.
Right.
And
each of the
hospitals.
community, the constituency councils have been tasked with actually organizing and highlighting areas of importance within each of the constituencies. So that is definitely being done.
Wonderful. So we're looking forward to that this coming Saturday. This coming Sunday at 8:30.
Yes.
It's happening. It's kicking off at the playing field at Forestier in the constituency of Castries South East.
Yes.
Sunday
in closing,
morning,
I would just like to speak to this National Independence Battle Relay. Is the brainchild and the initiative of our ministry, and it speaks to bringing unity across the island through local governments, you know, and we have really to thank our minister, the Honorable Richard Frederick. This is his brainchild, and he is ensured that he's pulling out all the stops in delivering on an event St. Lucians, you know, we can be proud of as St. Lucians. I would like to speak to our permanent secretary as well. She's really, she's the fabric, you know, that's really holding, you know, the fabric holding this event together. Our director of local government, our chairpersons and our constituency councillors, and I'm saving the best for last, our sanitation workers who are really on the ground out there, ensuring that our constituencies, you know, are something, they're really something that we all could be proud of as St. Lucian individuals.
Thank you so very much. We've been speaking with Kalila Abu Bakr as well as Mr. Cyril Saltibus, the Ministry of Housing and Local Government, as they launch the Independence 45 Battle Relay, and that's kicking off this coming Sunday, the 27th of January. 28th of January, sorry, my bad. 28th of January at 8:30 in the morning at the playing field at Forestier, Castries South East. And so, of course, culminating on the 18th of February this year. So thanks so very much for that, and do have
Thank you
yourself
so
a
much for having
wonderful
us,
day.
Alex.
Have a good one. Now,
Okay,
that's all the
have a
time
good
we have today here at the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. We hope that you can join us tomorrow again for another program, God willing. I'm your host, Alex Shaw Jr., saying goodbye.